Hello, sports fans, sports bettors, and YouTube Nation. What is up? John here with Riggit Picks. Hey, I got my last 2 weeks on my top 5 picks for the NFL. I am 5-5, 2-3, and then 3-2. So we're going to be right back at it. Sunday NFL picks. Have my solid top 5 picks. So we're going to dive right in. It's going to be a fairly lengthy video, so I apologize in advance. But we're going to get some good information and good picks. Going out to Indianapolis, we've got the Houston Texans at the Indianapolis Colts. Houston comes in at 4-2 and coming off a big win over the Chiefs. If you can call it a big win, the Chiefs seem to be losing more than they're winning lately. It's supposed to be a really good team. The Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson has been awesome at times, and at other times he's just okay. There's a lot of inconsistency with him. He has not fared well against the Colts in the past few seasons in his matchups with them. The Texans, they've relied heavily on the ground game when they're playing the Colts. The Colts have a resurgent defense this year, so the ground game against them has not been what it used to be. So Carlos Hyde, former Ohio State Buckeye, is going to have to step up his game. But if he can step it up, it's going to create some play action for Watson, who will also use his legs. So he's a big weapon for DeAndre Hopkins and Will Fuller to get open. So there's going to be some points scored by the Texans in this one. I think they're going to come out on the resurgent side of it. But the Texans are going to be without right tackle Titus Howard. So that might open up a lane or two for the Colt defenders to get to Watson. So look for that, as it could play a factor in this game. Defensive back Bradley Roby is also out for the Texans, so T.Y. Hilton and Jacoby Brissett, they could benefit from his absence. Attention fantasy owners, T.Y. Hilton could have a good day. The Colts, they're coming off of a bye week, so they've had time to prepare for the Texans and Watson. Their defense has been far better than expected. Both these teams have beat the Chiefs. The Colts had the big win against the Chiefs. In my opinion, their win over the Chiefs was bigger than the Texans' win over the Chiefs. Currently, this game is a straight-up pick'em, and we are going with a one-unit play on the Houston Texans to prevail. On to Cincinnati. Jacksonville Jaguars, Cincinnati Bengals. Jaguars are 2-4, and the Bengals are 0-6. Both teams are 3-3 against the spread. Gardner Minshew comes into this game having thrown for 1,442 yards, 9 touchdowns, 2 picks, and a 97.5 passer rating. The Jaguars have dropped close games. They have lost 4 games. Most of them have been very close. Saints, Panthers, close games. They've traded Jalen Ramsey, who may have been more of a distraction to that team than anything. I know he's a great defender, and he's a great football player, and he's done some good things for Jacksonville. But I think it was just time for him to maybe just go. And maybe Jacksonville's going to rally around that and come together as a team. The Bengals come in, they're just terrible. Their offense is not great. It's okay. It's not the worst. They're not the Dolphins, or the Redskins. But, they're still the Bengals. They played a tough game in Seattle, and since then it's just been they gotten beat. Leonard Fournette is going to have a pretty big day. Another attention for fantasy football owners. The Bengals gave up 269 yards rushing to the Ravens in their last game. Lamar Jackson was responsible for a lot of that. So Leonard Fournette, he's probably going to have a big day here. The Bengals rank near the bottom in almost every defensive category. At least one more week they're going to be without their wide receiver stud, A.J. Green, as he is still nursing his ankle injury, and he's not coming back. They're only averaging 56.5 yards per game on the ground. Joe Mixon and Giovanni Bernard just cannot get it going. And the Jaguars have a pretty solid run defense, so I don't see that changing in this game. Right now, the Jaguars are favored to win by 4.5, and we have a 2-unit play on the Jaguars covering the spread. Going out to the D.C., capital of the United States of America, for the San Francisco 49ers at the Washington Redskins. The 49ers have a solid defense and what seems to be an endless supply of talent at running back. It just seems like every time somebody gets hurt, somebody's there. Tevin Coleman, Breida, Wilson. It just everybody comes in, they produce. When one goes down, the others produce. So we're going to look for Tevin Coleman maybe to have another large game here. Attention, fantasy owners. Tevin Coleman. Pretty solid play, maybe. Jimmy Garoppolo can look rough at times. He came out of a system in New England, but he's their leader. He's been their quarterback. They are 5-0 this season. The Redskins are 1-5. The Redskins' only win this season has been against the Dolphins, in which the Dolphins, they almost won that game. So, two bad teams, and we got a result that we were expecting. But the 49ers are coming off a victory over the Rams, in which they held a very high-powered offense to a very low number of yards. Jared Goff had a career-low 78 yards passing. I mean, we're talking Jared Goff. Yeah, he hasn't been great this year. Yeah, he's got 5 interceptions, 5 fumbles, and he's a turnover machine. But he's not a 78 yards a game guy. And the 49ers were like, sorry, try next week. The Redskins, they have quarterback issues. They don't have a real quarterback. Adrian Peterson, he's kind of old. He's lost a step or two. His performance of 118 yards was his best on the season against the Dolphins. Okay, well, the 49ers have a way better defense than the Dolphins. So if 118 is what he can muster up against the Dolphins, what's he going to muster up against these guys? 25? So, I mean, I'm sorry that, the Dolphins, they're not quite the worst team in the NFL. Sorry, Cowboys, you guys lost to the Jets and have looked ugly in the last few weeks. But I think the 49ers have too much for the Redskins in this one, so they're going to cover the 9.5 point spread. We are going with a 2.5 unit play on this game. Moving on to the Chargers and the Titans. The Titans are changing quarterbacks and going with Ryan Tannehill. The Titans started off great, just crushed the Browns, just crushed them, and just progressively have gotten worse since the games have gone on. Both teams enter at 2-4. Both teams struggling on offense. The Chargers have got tight end Hunter Henry back, which proved to be a big target pickup for quarterback Phillip Rivers. He misses a tight end. And Antonio Gates had a great career with Phillip Rivers there because Phillip Rivers loves his safety valve tight end. I look for Henry to maybe have a good game here. The Titans, they're only allowing 217 passing yards a game. So, I mean, their defense is stout. Their defense is not why they're losing games. It's their offense. But I don't see the Titans, even with Derrick Henry and Tannehill and Delaney Walker, having a breakout game. The Chargers have a solid defense. But we are taking the under in this one with two dismal offenses, one good defense and one okay defense. Good defense is the Titans. The okay defense, not the Titans. It's the Chargers. But we're going with a 1 unit play on the under 41 in this one. I know it's a low point total, but I think this game is going to be like 13-10, 16-10. It's going to rely on kickers. And the kickers can't, the Titans kicker and the Chargers kicker, both their kickers are hurt, so you got, backup kickers trying to get you points. Good luck to that. So last game we're going out to Seattle for the Baltimore Ravens and the Seattle Seahawks. I don't know if that'll ever get old. But Lamar Jackson is a mobile quarterback, and you got this guy named Russell Wilson. They call him Danger Russ. For the Seahawks, running back Chris Carson has really opened up the passing game for the Seahawks this year. His ability to just pound the ball inside and run forward, he kind of learned a little bit from Marshawn Lynch, just run forward hard. He's a hard runner. He's a physical guy. But he's opened up the play-action pass for Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf and those receivers downfield. If DK Metcalf can hang on to the ball, the Seahawks will have a little more success on offense, but I expect a lot of deep shots to Tyler Lockett anyways. I mean, the Seahawks are not afraid to take a shot down the field once they think a defense is keying in on their running game. Baltimore's defense is not what it once was. They have given up some yards, and they'll give up some yards and points in this game. Seattle has a great defense that happens to give up a ton of fantasy points to tight ends, especially good ones. The better the tight end, the more points they get against the Seahawks. Mark Andrews is a great tight end. If you have to account for a quarterback running the ball, somebody's got to spy him. Somebody's going to have to be a spy on Lamar Jackson, which means, are you going to put your best linebacker on Lamar Jackson and your second best linebacker on Mark Andrews, or how are you going to cover that? That's a good question. I think it opens up a lot for Baltimore's offense a lot of options that they're going to have. And Mark Ingram, hello, he's not a bad running back. And they got some other pass catching backs that are fast that can come in on third down situations, and I think they're going to have a lot of offensive weapons that the Seahawks cannot be prepared for. Also, the Seahawks have a tendency to play down or up to their opponents depending on who they're playing. They seem to just squeeze by in games. I mean, they've won 3 games this year by 2 points or less. So they're doing just what they need to do to win the game, and that seems to be always the case. They don't just go out and put a team away. It's a close game. How do you prepare that when you got Baltimore, who can be up here or down here? Which Baltimore team are you going to play against? Which one did you prepare for? Did you prepare for the Baltimore team that's up here, or did you prepare for the one that's down here? We're about to find out tomorrow when they take the field. But I'm staying away from a side on this one. I'm leaning Ravens in the points. I think the Seahawks will probably win the game, but I don't think they'll cover just because it's not their style of football. But our official play is a 2-unit play on the over because I think both teams are going to score often in this one. But the under-over right now is 48.5. We are taking a 2-unit play on the over. And just for a bonus pick, if you guys are into the Rams and the Falcons at all, you got 2 great offenses. Matt Ryan is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL numbers-wise. Have him on my fantasy team, so early he was frustrating. But he's going to have a huge game in this, even though Jalen Ramsey is now a Ram. So we'll see if that has any effect at all. But I expect this game to be high scoring, so take the over on that as a bonus pick. So just a really quick recap. We're going to take the Texans and a straight-up pick them for a 1-unit play. 2 units on the Jaguars, minus 4.5. 2 units on the 49ers, minus 9.5. 1 unit on the Chargers Titans, under 41. 2 units on the Ravens Seahawks, over 48.5. Your bonus play is the over in the Falcons and Rams game. Guys, thank you for watching. Let me know if you love this NFL content. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. Let everybody know that I'm out here and I'm doing this every day. I'm going to have picks for you every day. Hockey's on fire currently. If you guys are not tuned into my chart picks, you should bounce on over to that video and check it out. But I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers by the end of the year. I know NFL can help me with that. Hey guys, let's go out. Let's get some green cash. I like green. Yeah, go green. Packers! Yeah, I'm staying away from that game, by the way. Raiders scare me. They're good or bad. But thank you guys for watching. Good luck with your bets, and have a great day.